So as excited as us Metroid fans are for the eventual release of Prime 4, there's still a lot of concern and uncertainty revolving around this game. Despite the fact that we got the initial trailer months ago and the release of the Switch 2 console is now upon us, we still unfortunately have no idea when this game is coming, other than the alleged 2025 at the end of the first trailer. But honestly, I think even that timeline is a bit shaky at this point. Most of us thought we would know the release date by now. Many of us speculated, including yours truly, that the release date was not initially revealed because it would theoretically spoil the release date of the Switch 2. But then we got word of when the Switch 2 would release, and now it's about to drop and still no word on when we're getting Metroid Prime 4. This has left people to come up with their own theories. One that I recently got in my own comments is that the game is far from complete, which is why they've only been showing us the Federation Research Facility and Vuros over and over again, because theoretically everything else is still unpolished. Although it's possible, I don't really agree with this theory, because that would have been unbelievably overly ambitious of Nintendo to tell us that it's coming out in 2025 when at least 3/4 of the game are still unpolished. Unless you work for Nintendo or Retro Studios, none of us can say for certain why we haven't got a date for it yet. But personally, I think we haven't got it because of a very specific reason, and that's Prime 2 and Prime 3. I still think those games are coming in a remastered format, just like Metroid Prime 1. We've been hearing rumors and alleged leaks about these games for well over a year at this point, as somewhat credible leakers have reported that they were in the works. Releasing Metroid Prime 4 without letting newer and younger players experience Prime 2 and Prime 3, especially after the Silux cliffhanger in Prime 3, just makes no sense to me whatsoever. After the somewhat surprising success of the Metroid Prime remaster after its Shadow Drop, Nintendo would be crazy to not try to capitalize on that again with Prime 2 and Prime 3. Then there was the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, which took my suspicious theory and basically cemented it in my mind as fact. When they revealed the lineup of games for the GameCube on the Switch 2, I immediately noticed that a game was missing: Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Now ask yourself this: if Nintendo knew that Prime 4 was on its way, and they wanted to stir up excitement for the upcoming title, then at the very least, why wouldn't they port the GameCube version of Prime 2 over to the Switch 2? I believe there's one easy answer. It's because I think they're working on giving Prime 2 and Prime 3 the remastered treatment, and they're not quite done just yet. I believe they want to release the remasters of Prime 2 and Prime 3 before Prime 4, which is what is ultimately holding up the release. If you haven't yet, you should go check out the Kiwi Talks channel here on YouTube. He talks with former developers connected to Metroid Prime, and in there is some really amazing nuggets of insight from those interviews. And some of those guys have talked at length about how difficult it must have been to remaster the original Metroid Prime, because it wasn't just a remaster in terms of upscaled graphics, but they literally had to recreate basically everything, which in a sense is even more complicated than building a brand new environment. Because instead of having some creative freedom, you're now trying to follow a previous model to a T, but in a way that makes it look even better. With that in mind, recreating Prime 2 and Prime 3 sounds like a behemoth task if you ask me. But if it was up to me, I would prefer to wait longer to get Prime 4 if it meant that we could get Prime 2 and Prime 3 remastered before that. Again, this is lots of speculation all around, and I'm sure everyone has their own theories. But to me, the lack of Prime 2 being included in the GameCube's lineup seemed quite revealing. So what do you guys think? Do you think the unspecified release date of Prime 4 has anything to do with Prime 2 and Prime 3? Or is it something else completely? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more Metroid and Zelda content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.